Hi Flosstube, it's Angie and I am here for video number 6. I'm pretty sure it's number 6. I'm already losing count because I'm not paying attention to those little things. I also have filmed 2 other videos this week and they are scheduled for a later date. And so, yeah. And now as I was thinking about it, I think I scheduled them on the wrong dates. So now I have to go and see if I can reschedule them, just to be safe, because I think I can still, I want to try and post another one next week, but I don't know if I can post from my phone because I will not have access to my computer. I actually don't have access to my computer because, okay, we had a really weird storm on Thursday night and the base said we were in a tornado watch, but then the local weather station said no, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning. I don't know which one was more accurate. It was either a severe thunderstorm or a tornado watch. I don't know. But we were just sitting here and all of a sudden the wind kicked up really severe wind. The windows were rattling. It was crazy. So I ran outside to secure things because we weren't expecting a storm, and then to pull my cars back into the garage because wouldn't it be my luck to have something shatter my windows right before I'm getting ready to go to move. So I go to pull them in the garage and I get them in the garage just as the power starts to flicker, and the power never flickers here. We've never had an issue with the power, but it kept going off on, off on, off on. And finally I was pulling my last car in and it was so tight because of all the stuff we have for the movers in there that I had to climb out the back door, walk out of the garage so I could go around inside to close the garage. But anyways, I walk out, all of a sudden there's these really long, really bright blue and red type flashes, and there's a really loud growling, like electric growling hum noise, and it just happened over and over. And then the sirens started, and then the power in the entire neighborhood, and it turns out like 3,500 homes, just no power, completely dead. And of course at that point my phone is on maybe 20%. So I had to get back in my car because I couldn't close the garage door. So the garage door was still wide open, just so you know. To get back in my car, turn it on, and sit in there for about 20 minutes just to give myself enough charge in my phone so that I could feel comfortable going to sleep and knowing I'd be able to contact someone. But I had to find the flashlights, which were all, put in containers, and none of them had batteries because the movers won't pack batteries, so you have to take batteries out of everything, which is ridiculous. Anyway, long story short, the power was out for about an hour, hour and a half. They got it back on. I don't know what happened. I don't know if a transformer blew up or what, or somebody said maybe lightning hit one. I don't know. Power came back on. The next morning I went to get on my computer and we're pretty sure it fried my hard drive. So my computer, I have to wait for my husband to get home. He's my computer fix-it man. So we're gonna try to fix that, and I'm just praying that if it did destroy the hard drive, it's the main one and not my spare hard drives that have all of my photos and everything. I back up my photos twice a year, and I haven't gotten to, I usually do it in June and in December, and they're backed up onto discs, and I have 2 copies because I've lost photos. I don't have any of my baby pictures of my 12-year-old because the hard drive crashed. Anyway, so I back up all my photos, but I haven't backed up my 2020 photos yet. So I'm hoping that it wasn't that hard drive that fried. We're pretty sure it's not. Anyway, my husband's computer is fine, so I'm using that right now. I'm hoping that I can figure out how to upload from my phone to YouTube. I was looking into that the other day and I couldn't see the option to do it, but I'm sure there's got to be a way. So anyway, that was an extremely long way of saying, hey, I may or may not have a video next week because I'm going to try to film a video and upload it, and then the following week and the week after that you will have the pre-recorded ones. Anyway, so hi, I'm Angie. If you didn't already gather that, this is a channel about cross stitch. This is my channel about cross stitch, and I have no plan. I kind of wing it. Yesterday I hit 253 subscribers. I think that I am now a little bit more than that. And wow, I've been recording for about a month now, and I don't know if that's fast or not, but it seems fast to me to have that many. So thank you so much for watching, subscribing. I get comments all the time and I love them. I get some suggestions, which is great. Just keep it coming. Thanks so much. I'm glad that you guys seem to be enjoying this, and that just makes me happy, and it makes it more fun for me to keep going. So thank you so much. Today's video is going to be a progress video. There's not going to be a whole, I think I did a decent amount this week considering I haven't had much time to cross stitch. So there's not going to be a whole lot of progress. I worked on 3 things, and then haul. I've got some haul because everything finally came in the mail. And then I think we'll see what else comes to my mind. So we're going to start with haul because I have a small amount. First, I got some fabric. I already had some fabric, but I got a little bit more. So I picked up this 32 count Platinum Lugana, and I think that I had intended this piece for one of the patterns you'll see in a minute, and I was going to stitch 1/1, but I might have changed my mind. I'm not sure. So if anybody, I'll talk about it when we get to that one. And then I picked up 2 of these. These are both 18 by 27. This is a white cashel. This is the same linen that my Spock is being stitched on. And this is a 28 count Lugana, white, just plain white. And both of these are going to have a long dog sampler on them. And both of these are going to be stitched 1/1. And I'm just going to kind of compare, see what I like, see if I even like stitching 1/1. If I don't, because each of these is different. The cashel linen has a bunch of the, the imperfections in it, whereas the Lugana seems very even and tight. So I might enjoy 1/1 on one and not the other. So we'll see. It's an experiment, and if I don't like it, I'm pretty sure I'll figure it out within the first few, 100 stitches or so, and it won't be terrible to redo it in a different way. So I got those fabrics, and then I got some patterns. This pattern I have seen all over Flosstube. I'm sure you have too. And I finally just broke down and bought it because I knew I wanted it. I've known I wanted it since the first time I saw it. I finally just got it, and I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but I picked up Blackbird Designs Away We Ride. So there you can see the whole pattern. Now you can just see. I love the thistles on the outside. I think those are so cute. And I know there was a floss tuber that turned the crows into vultures. I think it was Amy Loves Toads. And I kind of want to do that because hers looked fantastic. I've got to double check and see if she's willing to share how she did that. I hope I didn't just flash the pattern. I didn't. So Away We Ride. I don't have anything for this. No fabric, no floss, no nothing, because I don't have any plans to start this right away. This year, for sure. I just don't know when. I'm not even thinking about that right now. I picked up this one with plans to pick up more because these were very inexpensive. They were like $5 for the paper pattern. These are Little House Needleworks. It's called Freedom. It's part of the Early Americans series. There's a whole bunch of these. I don't even know how many there are, but they range, there's Betsy Ross, Paul Revere, I think John Adams, and then some other little motifs like this. This was the first one I got. And when I purchased it, I was just intending to just stitch it like this and then frame it and have it out for the 4th of July, but I have since changed my mind. I want to take this and I want to stitch it small on 1/1 and create ornaments out of multiples, not of this pattern, of all of the patterns, and create a 4th of July holiday tree. So I don't have anything for this, just the pattern for this too. And then, so this is the one I think the 32 count Lugana is for. And this is, I'm going to show it this way so you can read it. and that is Plum Street Samplers, Liberty's Welcome. Now I'll turn it this way so you can see the picture. So I'm not sure because I think when I bought this, I double checked, and if I were to do this 1/1, it would fit on the Lugana that I have. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because I think this is really, really pretty, and I'm trying to decide if it would diminish the effect this pattern has when you see it if it were condensed smaller. I don't think it would, right? I'm going to have to double check because if this fits on that Lugana, if that's what I bought that Lugana for, which I think it is, it's either it was for that or I'm pretty sure it is, then I have the threads, I have the fabric. This is something I could start right away if I wanted. So I'm gonna have to double check. But those are the patterns that I got, the patterns and the fabric. I did receive all of my beads for Stargazer. I am nowhere near the beading phase of Stargazer, but I wanted to make sure I had these because I'm about to have a lot of time on my hands with nothing to do. So I might get to a point where I can bead Stargazer. Who knows? So I have them. I've done some beading before. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it right. It was on a dimensions kit and there were maybe 18, 20 beads. That's a lot more than 18 or 20 beads. And I hear beading is not so bad. I hear beading is awful and takes forever. So we'll see. We'll see. I hear the same things about backstitching, and I don't mind backstitching so much. So we'll see. So the other thing I got were these needles. These are John James. They're gold-plated size 28 needles. I just saw them on 123 Stitch, and I've been wanting to try different needles. So I picked these up, mainly because I don't have a little needle workshop nearby. I think the closest one is in Dallas, and that's like a 2+ hour drive. So I don't do that, and I don't drive to Dallas because it's crazy busy and the traffic is terrible, and I don't want anything to do with it. And I'm about to move to Virginia with terrible traffic. Ooh, heaven help me. Okay, anyway. So I go to Hobby Lobby because they have a really good selection of DMC flosses, and that's where I go to get my flosses and my needles. And the needles are just generic Hobby Lobby, whatever their brand, Artiste, I think is what it is, needles. I've been noticing, mainly with the smaller size needles, the 26 and 28, that I'll thread my fabric through the eye, and within a few stitches that fabric is tangling, not tangling, it's getting caught in the eye and ripping. And at some points I can't even get my needle to slide on the thread. It's just, I don't know if there are imperfections in the metal on the inside of the eye that are just snagging the thread, but it's really been bothering me because it ends up tearing my thread, and I feel like I'm just wasting so much thread. So I've been wanting to try different needles. So I picked these up, and these are really thin. I almost feel like they're gonna break on me, they're so thin, but it seems very sturdy because I've been using it on one pattern, and they're working really well. I haven't noticed any snagging yet, and they glide through the fabric pretty well. But if anybody has any suggestions of needles I should try that aren't, ridiculously expensive, I don't want to pay $10 per needle. I don't care if it's a gold-plated diamond needle. I do want to keep it. This one was about $2.50, and it was a pack of 3. I don't know. I am still frugal, and I feel like as long as with needles, I don't think they need to be that expensive to have good quality. So if you have a suggestion, please leave it below. I'd love to hear it. That is my haul. That's everything that I've received over the last month. I'm pretty sure, maybe not month, pretty close to month. These are all things that I ordered at the beginning of May, and they just sort of slowly trickled in. I'm not ordering anything right now because I'm not gonna have an address yet for a while. So now I guess we're gonna go ahead and start with the projects. So I did work some more on my Mirabilia Stargazer. My goal, so I I photocopied the pattern for a working copy, and it's in 4 sections. So you've got 4 sections like this. So I had finished all of this one section this side, except all of these little frillies. So my goal was I wanted to finish this whole section this week, and I didn't quite. I didn't get to the, I mean, it's only a little bit of her bustle here on her dress, and then I didn't get quite all the ribbon, but I got pretty close. So here she is. I got pretty close. There's still some more ribbon that needs to fly around here and a little bit more of her dress, but I still think that that turned out quite nice. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. I just love her. I love my stargazer. And I can see where there's going to be some more fun beading up in here. So this one was fun. I did find myself mixing up 2 of the symbols. They have 2 lines horizontal for one of the colors and 2 lines vertical for one of the colors, and I mixed them up in her hair, and I had to unpick a bunch for a little bit to fix that mistake. But one more time. Isn't she pretty? I think she's so pretty. She's gonna be great when she's all done. So that's what I did on Stargazer. Hopefully I'll have a lot more done the next time you see it. The next 2 are actually patterns you haven't seen because they're both new starts. And I wasn't planning on starting anything new, but I was just in a mood of I stitched on these particular things for an entire month, and I really don't want to stitch on anything I've already done. So I picked this up from Etsy, and it's got a really long name. It's called Inspired by Stranger Things, blah, 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 blah. I just call it Stranger Things. And this is the pattern. And I am stitching this on 18 count Aida, and I've gotten to here. And I have my little Stranger Things from Victoria at Stitch and Button, because you can't stitch Stranger Things without your special needle minder. This one, I've been stitching this while rewatching the episodes with my oldest son. He hasn't seen them, and he wanted to do something with me, so we've been slowly watching that. So not bad. I think this is like 300 stitches maybe. So there's a lot of counting involved, but it's all just black, the whole thing. So it's nice, not a ton of color changes. So there's that. And then my last new start, I started this yesterday evening while I was watching true crime on YouTube, because why not? This is Little House Needleworks 13 Colonies. So I went ahead and started this, and I am stitching this on a 40 count Lugana. This is 2/2, and it's gonna fit and leave about an 1.25 inches on each side, which is fine. And this is where I've gotten. I think this is about 300 stitches as well. So these little gaps here, those are where the sheep are, and I've got the start of the ship up there. So this is actually stitching pretty fast, and I'm using the called for, because I think I remember I was saying that the called for threads were mostly Weeks Dye Works and Color and Cotton, and there weren't so many of them. There were just enough that I felt like the cost and the price of the pattern, I think I got all of it for maybe $30. It didn't feel too expensive. The pattern had been on sale, and the rest of it is DMC. And so I'm trying it out, and I really like, I mean, the grass here, almost all of this is Color and Cotton. I think it's pea pod, and I like it. I like how I like how it's variegated, and it changes kind of the tones of the green in the grass, because I mean, when you look at somebody's lawn, it's rarely ever all just one solid hue of green. There's usually a lot of, so I like that. But once I get the middle picture done, I have a feeling the rest of this will just go by really fast, because I mean, there's a lot of counting, but it's also very repetitive, and so once you have the feel for the pattern, it should be fairly simple. So I'm just gonna work on that for a while because I want to, and it seems fun. I was thinking about going through and showing you all of the works in progress, but I haven't been doing this long enough that you can't just go back to video number 1 and see all of my patterns that I'm working on. They're all right there. I'm just trying to decide which ones to bring with me. I'm gonna have about a week with nothing except just twiddling my thumbs because, you know, there's nothing to do here. And then we'll travel, and then again another week and a half, 2 weeks with kind of just nothing to do while we wait to move into our house, which we got our house. Yay! So excited. That was a huge stressor. That was causing a lot of sleepless nights trying to get a house, but we got it. We're good. And so that's happy news. So I'm gonna have a lot of time to stitch, So I'm trying to decide how many patterns I should pack, which ones I should work on, and I kind of feel like these 3, and maybe my pavan, but then I'm also thinking Middle Earth has not gotten a lot of love, so I don't know. I gotta figure that out really soon because the movers come really soon, and then I won't have a choice. Just whatever I have left out is going to come with me. But that's it. There's not a whole lot else to talk about. Yeah. I don't think there's much else to talk about. I haven't done any major stitchy stuff. I think at the moment that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. This is a short video. I'm sorry it's so much shorter, but again, so much going on. I'm pausing. I'm in moving, cleaning mode. I'm scouring my house right now, getting ready, so I don't have to clean too much when everything's out of the house. So this is just a little break to get this done so I can upload the video before I don't have the option to upload anymore. This is so much fun. Oh my goodness. I love moving. I'm not even gonna lie, I love moving. I love the adventure. This will be, let's see. So this will be our 7th move. And yeah, this is our 7th move, our 7th adventure. I'm so excited. I love the adventure. I love starting over somewhere new. I love getting to know the area. There's only been one assignment I didn't care for, and that was just because I didn't know anybody. We were kind of, we weren't remote, but we weren't affiliated with a squadron. And because my husband was going to school at the time, he was getting a master's. I think it was a master's degree. Anyway, and I wasn't too fond of the location. We were in California, but I didn't really care for it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't my favorite. It was probably my least favorite of all of our assignments. But everywhere else, I love getting to know the area and the adventure, and the kids are older, and there's so much to see out in the Virginia area. And I'm just gonna say, okay, West Virginia has Mothman. You better believe I'm gonna go look for Mothman. We got to visit Scotland, and I went to Drumnadrocket, and I went to Urquhart Castle and looked over Loch Ness, and I searched. I didn't find her. Nessie was not there. But I looked because why not? It's fun. I love fun. My parents live in Washington State, and we went and looked. We didn't look for Bigfoot, but we sure visited all the little Bigfoot sites because that stuff, it's just fun. It's fun. Campfire tales. It's so much fun. So if you know of any other fun stuff around that area, let me know because I'll go look for it. I keep thinking I need to find like a Loch Ness cross stitch pattern because I'm a nerd, you guys. I keep saying it, and I wonder if people really believe me, but I'm silly. I'm just a silly person. Okay. I can ramble on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to end it here, and I hope that you guys have a great day, night, whatever time of day it is, and we'll see you later. Bye.